Dang, son. No. There we go. So much movement. That is muted. What else? That's not muted. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Let's do it. 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 Hey, matter battery percentage.
Battery 100%.
Damn, bro, that's loud. Why you gotta be so loud? In the ears, matter. Matter, why you gotta be so loud? Matter, tell me why you gotta be so loud, Matter. Matter, Skitter, Beretta. Looking like Jetta, Skitter, and Garettas, Tettas, Lettuce, and Jettas, Angelus. A dangerous situation. All right, where we at? How far are we? What are we doing? That's the question. All right, let's go to this. Not it being up. Mm, mm, no, I wanted that one. This one up a mountain too? This one was literally what? In here? Yep. Hmm. Okay, that was it. That was nothing special. My wealth is immensely growing. We have to grow our wealth. Let's see. Alright. we're gonna get these because these are down on the ground, and then we're gonna grab the other ones, which are in the mountains. Let's go. See, some nights I'm more active in the game, and then other nights I'm more bleak. I'm just like, oh, do I really want to be? Do I? Who? Should I go to? Come on, let's go. Foot dip, whip. More wealth is in this cabin. I'm starting to notice a pattern. Is it not open yet? Can I not get in it? What? 20 meters. It's in here. What? Is this a sick ass joke they playing on me? Am I missing something? What is going on? Watch, there's one. That's one that's like you're gonna have to go through some shit and enter through the bottom. Okay, that one's out. Alright, let's go see what this cave is about. Since we can't get to that one, because that one's weird. Holding back my will. Is that what somebody knocked on it? I'm not climbing up that slow ass rock face, cliff, shed, whatever you want to call it. 69. 49. 85. Come on, man. There ain't no. There ain't no way to speed this up. Slow this down. No, we not. Well, no, we don't. No, we don't want to slow this down. Why did y'all make this so slow? They said we gonna give you the ability to climb anything, but you will not, and I repeat, you will not. How am I? How is it down there? No, I didn't mean to do that. Or did I? Are you stuck? You did not just get stuck. There's no way. How? Go over to the right. Go down. You know what? Fall down. Drop. How about that? Drop. What? Oh, man. That's not what I wanted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was a joke, right? That was a joke. Sick joke. It had to be a sick joke. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. That was one of the sickest jokes I've seen in this game so far. Let's try to get to this again. This time we're gonna run up the mountain and hopefully we can run in to the cave. This will lead us directly to it. Let's hope so. Instead of us having to do the most. Are we praying? Or should we have just ran through the icy cold water? But it said upwards. So 20 meters up. And it's like right here somewhere. More up. A couple more meters. It's right there. In here. Oh snap. We have made inside a cave. Alright, geared up and geared down. Alright, what are we carrying? Carrying this. Oh, we sleeping. Wait. Did I just... Alright, we're gonna I'll go with this. Mm-hmm. All right. What? What is happening? Okay. Hmm. No, can't get that. What? What? Oh, I got no skill points. What do you know? All right, that's it. Pretty much, right? Yep, that was it. Could I have just jumped? Is the question. What? Um. hmm. Yep. Hmm. Is there a pursuit? No. Are you watching it? Why is it still on the app? The, the computer. Still on the ad. Ad break. Alright, there we go. Two people in the pursuit car. Dang. Bro, what? Yeah.
if it's getting off
Okay, there
the
we
10 or it's at that transition between the 10 and the 101. We've kind of lost it there.
Let's go to our police expert, Tim Lynn, who's following this for us. So obviously, Tim, you have greater concern if we're talking about a possible shooting suspect here.
Right. Yeah, that increases the danger for the officers who
Just
are
went from
following,
game
because
into
if this person is wanted for shooting,
this.
he's already shown the ability and the means of using deadly force to be able to get away. LAPD has really been working this real well. They were up in the City Terrace, Boyle Heights area for quite a while, as you mentioned, going around the Marengo and area just south of the 10 freeway, and you saw him get on the freeway here, go to the west a little bit. Now he's reversed course back to the east, probably going back to that familiar territory that we talked about. But they have suspended this pursuit at one point because the speeds were so fast that the watch commander decided to back off and go into surveillance mode, as they call it, let the helicopter follow it. And then once he got onto the surface streets, they re-engaged. Now, you can see that the ground units have backed off quite a bit. The night sun from the helicopter keeping an eye on the car and giving its location. The units that are in the area are going to be able to track it from the side streets and be able to keep in the area and to move through as it comes off again. If it does get back off in Marengo or that area, City Terrace, where it was before, they'll be ready for it. And what they try to do is stay in the area, so when this suspect does get out of the car, they have plenty of officers in the area to contain the perimeter and take the person into custody. But right now, it looks like they've backed off quite a bit. I'm not seeing any emergency vehicle lights behind it and letting it run, because it's at 75, 80 miles an hour here, passing traffic. And as you were talking, a very light traffic on the 10 freeway for this time of night.
But as you pointed out, Tim, when you see that night sun, we see the night sun. We recognize that there is a police helicopter overhead with that night sun spotlight on the vehicle. Is the driver able to tell that there is that spotlight, or you can't really see it when you're in the car?
Game and pursuit.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, I've spoken to people that we've chased and people that I've been involved with, and once the light goes on, they know they're being followed. They know that the police are with them. And normally when they go into a surveillance mode, we'll turn off that light. They see her getting back off at City Terrace, as I said earlier, if he goes back down to that area. Yeah, so he's showing the pattern that he wants to stay in that City Terrace area and work those streets, because he was just making big squares earlier. But going back to the night sun, that's 50,000 candle-powered light that's on to him. That helicopter is only about 300 feet above them, and so not only can they see the light, but they can hear that helicopter making turns over the top of them. So there's no doubt that this driver knows that helicopter is there, and now you see the police units getting back closer as he gets on the surface street here. And once again, we're back in the City Terrace area. Now, they're just going to follow and stay with us and try to keep this as calm as possible, so they're not endangering other drivers on the road. But it's completely up to the driver of that white vehicle. They're the one calling the shots at this point. They're the ones that are going to cause an issue if they continue on. But luckily, really hasn't been doing a lot of erratic driving. I mean, they are speeding, they are driving with their lights out, but I'm not seeing a lot of blowing between cars.
There's your erratic.
Going through intersections on red lights. At least they slowed down just a little bit. Legal. And here's a real quick turn here.
Wrong way.
Well,
yeah, he's on this street before.
Yeah, as we're watching this one here, we're not talking necessarily about a stolen car that we know of, but we have heard that there might be a second person in the vehicle. That also is a game changer with the way they cover this pursuit, right?
Right, yeah, because everybody now is a suspect in that vehicle, because they don't know which one is possibly the shooter. Normally it's the driver they try to concentrate on, but on a situation like this, they'll do their best to keep an eye on both people coming out of this car, if there are two people. And mostly they're trying to get intel right now to find out what seat the shooter is in, if this is a shooting suspect, as they earlier reported. But right now, you see heading up Gage, and we've been in this area on Pomeroy, Gage, and Marengo, Herbert, and all this area before, just racing around. But he kind of got into that one curve a little quick, and I'm kind of getting it to the point now he's trying to get to a point where he can get out, but the ground units are pretty close behind him, so more than likely he'll stay on the gas and try to outrun the car on the ground. So once they see that little clear area, they hope to be able to get out of the car and get away before the ground units get to them. Because we've seen that before when they go to surveillance mode. The ground units are so far away that once they get out, they're hard to keep track of with the helicopter, and then sometimes they do get into an area where the helicopter can't keep an eye on them just because of the buildings, the trees, and the other obstacles that are on the ground. But right now, I can guarantee you the East LA Sheriffs, the LAPD Newton Division, along with the Hollenbeck Division, have this area swarming with police cars. And once this comes to a stop, you're going to see a lot of cars coming into the area and a lot of officers trying to lock down the area where the suspect went. That you have to keep in mind as an officer getting out, going after him, that they are reported suspects in a shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as we watch the driver has definitely blown through a couple of stop signs. The good news is at this hour, there aren't a lot of people out, not a lot of traffic, so that hasn't been as dangerous as it could be. Went through a green light, so is fully aware of those kind of situations. And now it seems to be a bit of a zigzag progress here and a pattern here. Tim, do drivers in this situation, and you said that you've had an opportunity to talk to drivers that had been pursued and then eventually arrested, are they thinking about where they're going, or are they just doing these random turns?
Some of them are trying to get away to where they just run until they run out of options. Others will stay in an area they're familiar with, hoping to get enough distance between the officers and the ground to where they can get out, get over a couple fences, and find a friendly house to get into. That's one of the things you see when you see these circling the same blocks, using the same streets and things of that sort. They're working around trying to get to a point to where they can get out. In their mind, and the ones I've talked to, they're trying to get away, and their mission in life right now is to get away. And the ones that you see that get up on the freeway and just drive straight for a couple hours, they're just delaying. They just don't want to go to jail, and they know they're going to end up there, but they're trying to delay it as far as possible. But the activity of this one, from my prior experience in both police cars, police helicopters, he looks like he's trying to get to a familiar, or stay in a familiar area, to where once he gets that little gap between him and the ground units, that driver and passenger are going to try to take off on foot and get us into the houses and the buildings as quickly as possible and get out of the sight of that helicopter. But, the guys in helicopters, those tactical flight officers, are very good at what they do. They not only use that night sun, they also use infrared technology to follow them with a camera.
And noting we are back in the Boyle Heights area, we talk about this being, and noting there are freeways in the area. Oh, we saw a police car right there. So this driver choosing not to stay on the freeways, not to get back on a freeway, like you said, and just drive and drive and drive.
Right, and like I said, he got on that westbound 10 freeway, got all the way down towards downtown, and decided to make the U-turn and come back east and get right back off into the same area of Boyle Heights. And so right now we're just continuing on First Street here. And this is going to keep him right in this area. And we're probably going to see a couple more turns to take him back the opposite direction, back to the west, to get back into that area just below the 10 freeway and City Terrace area, because that looked like the area that he really was enjoying, the Floral, Hazard, Telegraph, or City Terrace area. So, it's just a matter of time. He also might be looking for that, that parking structure that we've seen so many times too. He might try to find one of those to get into and try to get away from that helicopter, because that's the only thing that's keeping an eye on him for some of this pursuit. But LAPD is right behind him, and they're not going to let go.
If you're just joining us now, this is Good Night LA on Fox 11, and this is a police pursuit that started right before the end of the Fox 11 News at 10. We've been watching this white vehicle, this van or SUV. We are told there is a shooting suspect inside. The pursuit actually began in downtown LA, but we've watched as the driver has stayed in this basic vicinity of Boyle Heights, Southgate, East LA. Just east of downtown LA, there was some part of this pursuit where it looked as if perhaps the driver would go back towards downtown LA. They were on the freeway, but then they got off again. As we see this progression on First Street, on East First Street.
Yeah, I'm watching this area. Just went over the Los Angeles River there on the bridge, as you see, going along, and it's saying east on First Street, but this is kind of give you an idea. It might be heading west, but just kind of watching him here. You see that area right there to the left that goes underground. We've had several pursuits go down the tracks and go under the ground and get under the street, and then they abandon the vehicle in there. So I don't know if you had that in mind or whatever, but yeah, that has been a move that they've made.
By the way, that's the Japanese American National Museum that the car just passed. Okay. So I think when it says East First Street, it's not the direction that the driver is going, but that part of First Street, which is actually the eastern part, East First Street. So downtown LA, now the driver is in downtown LA, just leaving Little Tokyo, heading towards, frankly, LAPD headquarters.
And blowing through a red light there, you saw pedestrians walking in the crosswalk there. Tim, when you think about downtown, it's pretty much closed down at this hour. Businesses aren't really operating much at this hour. But you do have a homeless population that could be out there on the streets as well.
That's right. You have just because the businesses are closed and people are gone, you still have a pretty good population downtown as you went through a red light right there. And also it becomes very difficult for that observer in the helicopter to keep an eye on it when he goes between these tall buildings. So right now I'm sure he's calling for those ground units to start tightening this up, get a little closer to him. So if once he makes that turn and gets behind the building, gets under trees, they can get some eyes on that driver or that passenger. But as we continue on, this is probably crossing out of the 110 freeway if I'm just going by what I see. And then turning now southbound, going to parallel the freeway.
So that's near the LAUSD headquarters. So that car is passing by on Beaudry. You can get back on the freeway easily from this location. But you're right. I have seen situations where a vehicle was in the downtown LA area, and there are so many high rises and so much density that we lost the vehicle, and so did police.
On the left side.
Yes, and there you see him stopping at basically a green light, now trying to figure out which way he wants to go, because you have a freeway street there, one that goes off to the right as he's taking right now, and this is going to take him over a little further west of the 110 freeway. See, now you're having the issue with the buildings. In fact, let's see if he comes out the other side. So this is what the observer or the tactical flight officer in the police helicopter is dealing with as well, but sticking with him as best can. Units now have tightened up, like I said, and they're going to stay pretty close to him. Now, 3rd Vixel is where, I think LAUSD is.
No, it's just past. It's just past LAUSD headquarters.
So they're heading off to the west into the Westlake area. And so now you're going to start seeing more population on the street because of the large homeless population around the MacArthur Park area. So, but anywhere down here, people are out all hours of the night walking. And luckily, driving slowly, going slowly through the green lights. Now, I don't know if I keep saying he, but the driver is thinking of where am I going to go, how am I going to get out of here, what's going through his head right now. But not wanting to get caught is his main goal in life right now. And at this point, I'm surprised LAPD hasn't gone up and tried some type of pursuit intervention technique or a pit maneuver at this point. But right now, it might be because they have further information about the shooting suspect, that the person has a gun, has shot.
Turning into, it's just a narrow street. I thought perhaps it was a driveway, but a more narrow street where the driver had to be quite cautious about making that right-hand turn. And you're right, this is slowed quite down. The speed is slowed down to now 18, 20 miles per hour.
And downtown, not only do you have the narrow streets, but more in downtown, you have some of those one-way streets as well. It is interesting to watch, Tim, how that driver gets cautious, deciding which direction to go. And for the most part, not driving overly dangerously, but you do wonder, could LAPD intervene with, as you said, a spike strip or a pit maneuver? But again, they might have much more information than we do. And we were initially told shooting suspect. Okay, when did that happen? Is this somebody they were tracking over time? Did it happen, within hours or minutes? We don't know the details of this. And also a second person involved, we don't know if that is another suspect or a victim or an innocent person who's kind of caught up in this, not really wanting to be part of a pursuit, but really can't find their way out, even if it's a friend or a relative or family member.
So far, one thing that we haven't seen, oftentimes you will see people in these pursued vehicles throw things out of the car, and I was sort of looking out for that. I don't think we've seen anything like that, especially if it's a shooting suspect. Oftentimes the suspect wants to get rid of whatever they used in the crime. It was also interesting, Christine and Tim, the car passed a Waymo. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
And I noticed, you know, if it is an unmanned Waymo, as they are supposed to be, oh, now the car stopped.
That's
Oh
bizarre.
yeah, because it says.
Oh, it's a very tight turn. Went onto the sidewalk and
that was
to make that turn. But yeah, the Waymo did pull over to the right, as it is supposed to do, with law enforcement behind, with lights and sirens. Okay, so this car is acting, or the driver is acting, kind of strange in that there's a slowdown. Perhaps, as you said, Tim, they're just kind of looking around, like, where can I make a getaway? Where can I find a multi-tiered parking garage? Because that might be helpful.
You might hit the
and I think that little turn across the sidewalk was they realized they were going up a street that didn't have an outlet or was unfamiliar to them, to where they didn't want to get trapped. So they made that last-minute U-turn to the right to get around, and now getting back out, and it's a little more open territory here. But yeah, the driving has been very, very calm, and like I said, slowing down for the red lights and working their way through. None of that high-speed stuff that we've seen in the past. But here he's all of a sudden on the gas as hard as he can. Getting going up back towards the downtown area. It's erratic, very erratic. So now maybe they're thinking, okay, well, there's enough of this driving around areas we don't know about. Let's get back across the 10 freeway, get back into the City Terrace area where we know where we're going. So right now.
Noting, Tim, blowing through some of those red lights now, and as you saw, they picked up speed just a bit. Again, I'm curious to know about the passenger, the person also in this vehicle. Are they a willing participant in all of this? And are we getting on a freeway now?
Yeah, that's an on-ramp right there. That's near the music center.
Southbound.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're an officer chasing the car, you have to take every one of those things in mind. What do we have here? What is this? Which one is the suspect? Is a shooter? Which one is a possible victim? Are they both shooters? All that stuff runs through your mind when you're in these pursuits, because you have to be able to react to what that person in that vehicle does when it comes to an end. And I'm telling you, jumping out and taking off dead run after doing all of this into the darkness, chasing somebody who might have a gun, it is not for the faint of heart. I can tell you, having been there, done that. It's stuff that you think about. You try to game plan in your head while you're chasing them. But this person right here is just going to get him back. I guarantee he's going to get back out here and get off at City Terrace or Marengo or one of those areas, because that's what he's been doing. But the officers behind him are doing their best just to keep their emotions in check, keep their breathing in check, picking up a little speed here, trying to get away, make that separation from the ground units. And so the officers behind are doing their best to stay with it, but also staying safe, keeping themselves under control, because you don't want to get what we talk about in police work. When you're chasing somebody, you get that missile lock in the bumper of the car you're chasing, and everything else goes out of vision. So you don't want that to happen, because you're responsible for safety of everybody on the road. And if you run into somebody, they're going to scrutinize everything you did during that pursuit. So you have to be careful while you're chasing them, but on the same time stay up with them as best you can. But luckily, with the helicopter overhead, you don't have to push as hard. But when this thing comes to an end, that's where everything really gets hectic, and you have to make that snap decision on what to do at the end, and it all dictates on what the suspect does. So the officers have to really maintain their composure during the pursuit, so that adrenaline level isn't so high when they come to an end that their rational thinking sometimes goes away. Go ahead.
Well, Tim, I was going to ask, we've been watching this vehicle now for about a half an hour. That means the patrol cars, the black and whites behind, have also been driving like this for about a half an hour. At what point do the officers start to, like, tag out or, replace, in order to keep them sharp, and in order to, as you said, avoid that vision where you can't quite see clearly?
Well, that's all to the sergeant who's in the pursuit. There's a sergeant that is there watching what's going on, listening to the officers on the radios, listening to their demeanor. He knows them personally. And if he starts hearing any little suspicious tone in their voice or any hazardous driving, that sergeant then can call for that unit to go ahead and pull out, let somebody else take over primary, or one of your partner officers who are with you will see something of that sort and basically said, hey, Unit 3, I'll take over for you. Why don't you back off, let me come around and get in there. There's no formal, hey, when we're in this area, these cars chase. When we're in that area, these cars chase, that type of thing. I mean, you'll have a column deck unit chase somebody all the way down to the harbor if it comes down to that. But unlike with the CHP, they have that method where they just hand them off from office to office. But that's more of a controlled, high-speed, long-distance type thing where you don't want units too far out. But, yeah, the sergeants out there keep a real close watch on it, and I guarantee you the watchmen...
they just crashed.
Okay, wanted to get off the freeway.
Just went through.
That is crazy.
And then could not make that tight turn.
Do they get out of the vehicle and run?
They just
doors open.
They're
Driver's trying to get out.
That's a little alarm. That'll
Phone in
be
hand.
for you, right, Tim? You go through this as the driver in a pursuit here. You've got somebody with you there, going over to the passenger seat there, wondering if this. Up the hill. Up the hill. There you go.
Yep.
Someone's going up the hill.
So that would suggest that the suspect is the one running away. The driver doesn't appear to be trying to move away.
Driver's like, I'm not.
But meantime,
I'm not
law
running.
enforcement is not far behind.
Yeah, it's he put up some pretty good speed there and got that distance, and with that drive off that ramp, just basically there was no way to make that turn and just went straight up. Unless they were buckled in, it was probably rattled pretty good. Now, the one suspect did run up to the upper left-hand corner, and now the driver or suspect still down by the car. So it might be the situation where you want to know part of this, but they're getting in the passenger side.
An innocent person there on that scooter, perhaps going to check out the accident. Police, I think, are right there saying, perhaps get away, stay away. I'm wondering, is that just a business up there on that hill, or are there homes as well, as in people need to make sure they lock their doors and stay safe?
There's people partying
I would,
over
if you're
there.
anywhere in this area, I would start locking down if you have anything open. Is that the guy walking away to the right there?
Is that the driver of the car?
Anyway, yeah, just casually walking away.
I don't think so.
Well, no, not with the area. He's going to stay with him. And I'm checking radar now just to see if there is a second law enforcement shift there, keeping an eye on the driver, the person that went up the hill. I'm just trying to see if there is another law enforcement shift there. It looks like there's a whole bunch of media and one LAPD unit, it looks like, is involved in this. So
where you going, bro?
There could be a good thing that he's keeping an eye on him with the light, but the infrared camera is keeping an eye on the guy that went up the hill. So right now they're going to try to get this person stopped, and then with the person that's up on the hill, they're probably keeping an eye on him with that camera, because you can do two things at once. Is what you widen out the infrared camera into the area where he's at. The camera will stay in that location as you make your turns, and now the tactical flight officers using the hand control for the light to stay on this person and directing units in on this person. So hopefully he'll be in custody here pretty quick. But I'm surprised that the units are so far behind. I mean, it's really something that they're this delayed getting in on scene, because they had it pretty well surrounded. They had a lot of units out there. We saw them sitting in intersections as they were going through, being ready for this to end. But right now, it looks like
yeah, it's surprising that I presume that the patrol cars were going to pull right up, but we're watching this guy as he walks away. Actually, takes a little jog away from the damaged car. It was odd, though, that he opened the passenger side and looked in. And now what? Is he like looking at these cars, hoping for some help? Do you suppose?
Unless he made a phone call to call somebody to come pick him up.
Oh, no. Another vehicle now possibly involved in this pursuit?
Because he had that phone, and as he got out,
he jumped in the car.
Did he get in, though?
With that car.
So he was talking to somebody. Nope, he's out of the car. But apparently he did say something or did talk to somebody in the car. Meantime, there's law enforcement, there's police.
So does he comply right away? Bizarre behavior here.
Hands up.
Never attempted to run. Perhaps he could not run. Perhaps he'd been rattled in the way that pursuit came to an end, almost like a crash in a way. But that suspect now in custody, and you don't know if that other driver, that other white car that pulled up, was just talking to somebody in the middle of the road or knew what was going on.
Who knows on that? You have no
Yeah.
idea, but I was worried about a carjacking going on there. Or what we've seen in the past is they make phone calls and friends come in and pick them up. So now you'll probably see the interest go back to that hillside to try to pick off the passenger that bailed out at that point. And it could have been that their units, the reason why they weren't getting there, they were going after that guy on the hillside. You see more units rolling in, because it was really strange to me with all the units that were involved in this that they didn't get there a lot quicker. But this is CHP, now LAPD is showing up there, and that air unit is trying their best to, get these units up that hill or get them around that hill so this person doesn't pop out. But more likely, that person never stopped run unless they're challenged. Usually what happens when somebody runs like that, they keep running until they're challenged, and they'll either change directions. What I mean by challenged, as they're coming up, they see a police car, they hear a policeman, they see something, and they'll make a turn and then start working another direction until they're challenged again. And then after a while, they what we call go to ground. So right now, the CHP rolling in on this, they sometimes come in because the dispatch frequencies are so different, it has to be relayed all through the system to get to them. So sometimes they're a little bit behind the curve on a situation like this. But LAPD should be all over this because they were in this area quite a bit. They knew where this person was kind of hanging out, and what went for so long and stayed in the general same area. To me, it's going to be a surprise. There's just not wall-to-wall police cars up here, but.
Well, Tim, let's show the viewers what happened as we were watching that white vehicle. So this happened a little, not that long ago, and you see how the car tried to get off the freeway and take the turn, did not take it well, and then wound up on the sidewalk in this vicinity here, Ramona. The Ramona exit in the southwest San Gabriel Valley. And we watched as the driver came out. You could see the phone. But at the same time, you'll see somebody come out of the passenger side and then run up the hill. We were a little distracted initially. There you see the guy running away, running up the hill. But meantime, the driver stayed around and then actually peeked into the passenger's door on the left side of the vehicle. But once again,
wild ending.
Yeah, a wild ending. Went over the passenger's door on the left side of the vehicle. But once again,
wild ending.
Yeah, a wild ending. Went over the wall and through the landscaping or whatever. So.
Well, you notice that the passenger much more able to make a run for it.
Right now, and
we don't know the nature of how these two were in this vehicle. Is this a friend who's driving a suspect in this shooting? Is it a relative who kind of caught up with someone, met up with someone who's helping them escape in some way? We don't know the details of this and why that person ran up the hill there, but they seem to be a little bit younger and perhaps a little more fit and perhaps more willing to really do anything to get away.
Or perhaps that person is the suspect and feels like being a shooting suspect might put them in greater danger from being arrested. I mean, this guy's going to be arrested. The driver's going to be arrested. But he
didn't even attempt to run.
Yeah. Well, he might
physically
be right.
Can run or not.
You're right. Maybe
well,
he
did
injured.
fully.
I mean, that was
Still,
a pretty dramatic
away.
crash.
Same.
All right, we are watching the end here of a pursuit with the suspect still out there. We believe, no word from law enforcement yet, that this second suspect who was in this car as the passenger has been caught. The search is on right now. If you live in the area, keep your doors locked and stay safe because we don't know who we're dealing with. Initial word was a shooting suspect.
One of two suspects now in custody. We will be keeping an eye to find what happens and whether or not they catch up with the other suspect.
Well,
Thank you for joining us.
That's our newscast here on Good Night LA. Pretty much everything was a pursuit here. Hoping law enforcement can bring this to the end that we hope to see the person in custody. Thanks for watching.
No, they have somebody. No. Wow. Wow. Come on, bro. How y'all going? What? Bro, that is crazy. They literally had them dudes. And all they did was like, nah, it's cool. What? Man, what's up with y'all? How y'all gonna just... Sorry. It's cool. It is what it is. Okay. God dang, is there that many? Mm. Okay, okay. Alright, now, where were we? Alright, we're coming back from there. That's what we were doing. And then, we're going. Where the we going? How about them apples, huh? Oh, that was dope. Hmm. Alright. Game on, bitch. Nah, there's no way. Right? Yeah. Nah. And then where's the other little joint? Right up over here. It's like what? Right up there? Something. Alright, Lisa like. A leather ball. Really? What's over here? Or is it just messing with me? Is this game tweaking? I think this game is tweaking. Yeah, this game is mad tweaking. There ain't nothing here, bro. Why are you trying to get me to do that? Climb mountains with fake ass little dots that don't exist. You're wasting my time. Seriously? Seriously, dog? Trying to get up. Can't go down, fam. Bro. It's non-limited boosts, ups and downs. Yeah, see, there ain't nothing there. Weird, bruh. There's like a later thing. What's that pissing me off? Why does that piss me off so much? Why am I like, I want to get those little dots? Treasure map. Order fed. Alright, don't know what this is. Can't get this. This is a location. Okay. Okay. Chiefs. person me boat. That is one thing about this game. It drags.
Let's hear a story.
A story from my youth. This one has no lesson to be learned or message to be gleaned. Often my father liked to take me on hunts in the forested lands east of Avaldsnes. I loved these solitary times with him. I had never felled a beast myself, and my father saw that this upset me. I was only dreams of being a man. So one winter, my father asked me to perform a bargaining ritual to the goddess Skadi, to improve his bow skill and snow sight. With glee warming my heart, I cut a hair and sacrificed it to the goddess, asking in exchange of skill and sight for my father. When the ritual was done, my father and I set off into the forest. We hunted all day until night fell, and we slew no game. That night, around the fire,
Do we really have to go all the way around, son?
my sacrifice had not been heeded. Yet seeing my sad face, my father only smiled. Had you been hunting, he said, you would have killed 6 fine deer. For Skadi hears only those who speak to her. Look! Soldiers dug in over there!
Shall we?
This water, deadly cold. Best not to draw attention here.
Whoa. Oh, it's a small little camp.
for a quiet moment? Stop! What? Bolting! Shoot there!
I don't know. I don't. Answer me with a question. Try to make these dudes disappear ever so slowly. Without causing too much of a ruckus. Boy, oh boy. Ooh, that could have cost me dearly. Or I could have just raided this joint. Horse, if you don't stop. Dang. If I start swimming, will a horse?
Turn to ice if I stay here.
Dang, finally. How? Seriously?
To battle!
I know, so I'm like, there could have been some from in. I just want something. No. Do you have anything to drink? Besides water? I'll take a yogurt.
Looks for fates. Sly fox this one. Watch for my signal. You're a crook.
Oh, warm milk. Fuck no. Oh, yes.
Let's get back to the ship! Jammed. Need to get on the other side.
Is that really it? Yep. That's how I get into the other thing. Alright, so we got the loot. That's good. Can we fast travel? No.
The steak. And I took a bag of rice. And then I have extra dressing. And I want the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered one of these like, oh my god, your food looks so good. It smells so good. I'm like, this is brilliant.
I can't.
I just putting it back. There's some steak and rice with the sauce on it.
That was good.
And here I am sucked.
You need help.
Välkommen after, Styrman.
To the waves. Sail! Catch the wind!
All right.
Is there a sea skull among you?
Did I ever tell you all the story of how I killed an entire clan single-handedly with the broken hilt of a sword?
Too often, dog. More times than any man can count.
What do you think you're doing?
Won't be gentle if they spot me.
I'll be gentle if they spot me. This motherfucker went on a goddamn pursuit. wish you wouldn't have. Stop it.
Baka crew.
Gammal fiskastur. Hann eigi dauður enda? Guðirnir vita að við...
Ég eldast hérna!
Og þeim glaður.
Anskotans kapar som stela fenomen. Vidrismer svar, det druar Baltasarit hans verk. Han björn Ansson, Stahins och detsus.
Óhafsæði. Meir sannindi í þeim orðum en í fjöld silfurs.
Jag kan lita för bondi. Men samar fleina finna ultima knall. Better hunderstört vastenskript.
Kem ek með afleiðingar.
Veistu. Hann var dreigilega í skjaldborginu gaman og hann býði í Valhöll nú. Þvílíkur gott bana, staurast saxum.
Yeah, what the hell?
Keitistä halfen veikost veistu. Han vill ju tagit med. Det är i hemma medan henne.
Gnótt af reykt lambakjöt. Munu menn taka nokkurt á veiðiferð? Má gefa þér.
My love for your eyes is tall and strong, like the tree of life.
Does everyone in Alrekstadr play their love games so loudly?
No, it's just my husband. He cannot satisfy his wife!
Ah, old age.
No, he's still young and fit. It was not always so. He could not keep us apart when we were raiding.
He would plow you during raids.
Our first time was in the middle of a burning village. After a while, the crew made us stop. They said it was distracting.
Love can burn brighter near death. Have you tried revisiting these memories?
Yeah, but talking about it is not the same. I need to feel it, smell it.
So you need to bring the excitement of the raid into your bed.
You could help us pretend we are raiding. That will make my water flow. Come, we must tell my husband.
I was only well, all right.
Grab your weapon, you big, strong Vikinger. Today we raid.
A raid? Now?
Join me in the blood dance. Fill me with your battle lust.
Oh, yes, yes! Let us go, White King. Maybe you could start by breaking things.
And scream as you do, like it is really happening.
It is amusing, but not arousing.
Yeah, it does not feel real enough.
Maybe you need more fire, like your first time.
Yes! Burn down our house! Burn it to the ground!
Too hot!
Whoa. That's what she said, right? Right? She said perhaps you can burn it down. So I was just doing what she told me. Was I not? Key. Where's the damn key? Bro, why is this game bugging? Why is nothing where it's supposed to be? This is quite annoying.
Að fólk átti að koma til ásjár annarra.
Your clan is a foul stench.
But we are strong as... You have just won your heart's desire, Eivor. Yet by the look on your face, you have lost your will to live.
Gorm is here with the last of his men. Why does that troll dare to show his face?
Leave it for another day. We are here under Harald's truce, and Gorm is too weak to try anything bold.
He's a seed stain on his father's trousers. I should wipe him from this world.
Not tonight, Eivor. Leave it.
Yeah, what he said.
Basim, watch over this one, and see that she warms herself with drink. I will find my father and escort him to the Longhouse.
As you wish.
Is Hytham well?
He will heal, but never fully recover. It is fortunate that you were able to succeed where he failed.
My resolve was strong.
When you slew Kjotve, did you see a sigil on him? Silver, the size of my palm, bearing the symbol of an ash tree?
Take it. Trade it for what you can.
I know where Gorm is camped. If you wish to see him without anyone the wiser, there is a trick I can teach you.
Already looking for another princess. All right, I'll bite. What do I do?
Use your cloak to obscure your face. Blend into the crowd. Divert attention. Hide in plain sight.
Is this how your brotherhood operates? You sneak around in the daylight, stabbing your victims where they stand.
Said like that, you make me blush. We are seekers of justice, shepherds of man's will. We work in the dark to serve the light.
I suppose there's no shame in using deception when honor is at stake. And Gorm is a stain on that honor.
Then let's see what can be done to cleanse that stain. Give it a try. A few things you should know before you step into his camp. Walking unseen through hostile territory is an exercise in subtlety. A hood makes you forgettable, dismissed at a distance. Remain far from watchful eyes, and you will be invisible to them. Do not draw blade or hammer, for these and other sudden movements can break your disguise. And in case I wasn't clear, you will need to put up your hood for the trick to work. Gorm is there, in the camp ahead.
What were you thinking? Drinking mead on an empty stomach?
You have to eat something before drinking that much.
How does that go? Feed before meat.
I have some roasted lamb on the spit. Are you coming?
A good spit is worth his weight in silver.
Hold there, friend.
Vinir bjöðu mig mibdu.
Not sure where the iron comes from, though I saw Morfer hauling some in.
Always too busy making slave collars. Shit names.
Hey!
All time. Hey! Stop! No way! Almost got you!
Trying to do this sneaky.
Stay sharp. Hey! What?
Y'all waiting for your boy to come out? 'Cause he ain't coming out.
Evil!
You Arker shit! Take up your weapon and follow me beyond these walls. Let Odin's favor land where it may.
You dare not break the king's peace here. So fuck you and your god talk. What say you to that?
You are all subject to King Harald's truce. Break his peace and you will be cast out of Alrikstad.
I will give you no trouble. You were shed into this world without honor, Gorm, and you will leave as a turd, dumped into hell's deepest ditch.
Keep crowing, Eivor. You only make yourself an easier target.
The Alding will have started. I should find Sigurd.
Alright, man. I'm done for the night.